So again, let's explore the concept of ideology, guys. Okay. Charlie Kirk has been shot, okay, podcaster. We don't know how serious it is or anything like that, but it is fucking extremely serious that it happened, right? And I was speaking about it yesterday, right? That I said there's going to be some type of shootout or something like that because I know the escalation of the violence with these guys and what they've been looking for. Okay, so again, is it something to celebrate when somebody put shots on Donald Trump? Is it something to celebrate when someone put shots on me or, come after me with fucking bottles and stuff or whatever, right? It's cool, right? So the left thinks that if these terrible things happen to people on the right or people that are conservatives or people that are in the center or people that speak the truth, or they have like a public voice, they decide to exercise the right to free speech. Do you think I do free speech because I like free speech, or do you think I do free speech because I have no other fucking choice? I like it and I do it because I have no other choice. It's perish or survive or perish, You got to here, you have to now. So the left are telling you, and like Australia, right? The left, it's not really the left. It's kind of, they're the center now, right? The center are telling you that what you have to do to be part of the center is to have very strict communistical and fascistic and Maoistic beliefs and have it like straight across the board. Like all government workers have pretty much a specific kind of outlook that they're taught to have, every institution, and then every government worker, and then every institution, how it locks onto each other. It has their own way of doing things. And their own institutional culture. The institutional culture in the left that I've been warning everybody about, that I've been getting hit hard about here, because the power structure is held up by these fucking people, man. And the people that I grew up around, right? West End, leftist communists from the community space, okay? You guys are valuable to a particular level, but when you're all together, you think that you can come up with a conclusion on particular things, right? Like, I mean, I've got some friends that have traveled and stuff, but you guys have no idea the type of things that I understand about deep state and all that type of shit, right? When I talk about these things, okay? So now, as I said yesterday, January 6th, to say that that's the most consequential thing that ever happened in the history of the United States now, political event, right, is common, okay? To publicly know not to joke about Donald Trump getting shot because of Jack Black, because Jack Black fucked up in Australia. All you lefties know to keep your fucking mouth shut because of Jack Black, right? He took the fall for you guys and he still got a movie out of it, right? But, and that was fucked, right? I sent a warning message to Donald Trump 45 minutes before he got shot, and then Jack Black and his friends fucking joked about it. Jack Black and his friends are the cool ones and I'm the fucking douchebag, right? But it's just like with Curtis, like when Curtis was shot, and Curtis understands what it's like to be targeted and for these things to fucking happen. And you guys have been creating this us and them mentality with me, like pushing me, trying to push me further away from the group, away from the Caloundra community, away from the Sunshine Coast community, Queensland community, okay? And you've been passing off on my work. From a legal perspective, from a corporate perspective, you're passing off on my work. You're passing off on my fucking brand, and everybody in my family fucking knows it. We know that you're passing off on our brand. We know it. My family's brand, the Curlies, motherfucker. I'll just leave it at that. You're passing off on my family's reputation. on the reputation that my family built here that you had nothing to fucking do with. So, like, there's this real extreme left thing, right? And as I said, I come from that extreme left side. But what tempered me was Chris Jones, who's fucking far right, like that I don't really agree with on most of the shit that he has to say. Okay. What can I agree with him on? His training methods, his field tactics, his analytical perspective, his assessments and stuff. I did like my security operations too. And then I said to the lady, thank you. Like the practical first aid you taught me saved the guy's life on the March 2nd until the ambulance could get there. Okay. That's what I said. And so it's like, I didn't take anything from them. What I do has nothing to do with their copyright. I don't have to pilfer anybody's copyright because like what I do is on a higher level to what a security operations thing is. And what I'm talking about in my actual writing, it has nothing to do with the security operations stuff. What I do is I reference the legislation, okay, or I reference the necessary government body. So November 22nd last year, they said some so that's what I learned when I went to TAFE. Okay. So what Tristan taught me at TAFE is, okay, so I'll show you. So like with a cop, right? This is what the cops don't like. So I haven't taken anybody's copyright, but I do this. So we have this thing, the necessary acts, right? When you're studying justice. So with the police too, right? Everything that I wrote and I sent through to them, I referenced this, the Police Powers and Responsibilities Regulation 2012. Okay. At other times with the real estate and everybody, I have referenced the Residential Tenancy and Rooming Accommodation Act of 2008, right? So I was taught at TAFE, and I use another book as a guide, but just as a guide, I'll show you. I also, just because it's a companion size, I carry my RMLV only to be able to reference the Anti-Discrimination Act of Queensland. Okay. So I haven't pilfered anybody's systems. Just in my system, if I'm sending you an email, I will reference the necessary legislation. That's all. Okay. And that's a basic, like, that's a and then you have to, then you also have, it's reference there anyway. So, when I write it in the report, it's already referenced. Okay. For you to look up if there's no hyperlink there already. So that's how I do things. And it's legal to do things that way. And like the police, they have to do things that way when they're putting together charges and shit. So I just put things together in the same way that the police would put charges together. And then with them, I have to be as familiar. So like with section, what is it? Where is it? Section 273, I think, isn't it? 73 Criminal Code. Yeah. So section 273 of the Queensland Criminal Code is titled Aiding in Self-Defense and makes it lawful for a person to use force in aid of another person, provided they act in good faith and use the same degree of force as the person they are defending would have been entitled to use under section 271 or 272 This means you can only use force to help someone if the circumstances are such that they could have lawfully used the same level of force to defend themselves against the assault. So, key elements of Section 273 is aiding another person. The law specifically allows you to intervene and use force to help someone who is being assaulted. Good faith. Your intervention must be genuine and done with a real intention to help the person being aided. Reasonable force. The degree of force you use must be the same level of force that the person you are helping could have lawfully used in their own defense. Circumstances are key. The lawfulness of your actions depend on the objective circumstances, as if the person you are aiding were aware of them. This means you must consider the same self-defense rules, Section 271 and 272, that would apply for the person being assaulted. So in summary, if someone is being lawfully attacked and needs help, you can provide that help by using a similar level of force to what they could use themselves, but only if you are genuinely acting in their defense. Okay? So when I say with the situation with Jordan Gallagher, you can reference Section 273 and 272 of the Criminal Code, and everything that happened on the evening of March the 1st into March the 2nd that involved me falls under Section 272 and 273 of the Criminal Code of Queensland, which is lawful self-defense. You will find in every other situation that you can investigate about me, okay, that Section 273, 272, and 271 of the Queensland Criminal Code will be referenced. Okay? This means every single time I've gotten to a fucking fight in this country, it's fallen under Section 273 of the Criminal Code. Okay? So I'm going to post a picture of the guy whose life I fucking saved, right? I'm going to put on, I'm up on Facebook now, guys. How are you going? Let's see, desktop. Download. Hey dudes, how we going out there? Where are we? That's Jordan Gallagher, the picture there. I saved his life. It looks a bit gay. It looks like he's got lipstick on, but it's because he was like drunk and he was drinking red Bacardi cruises. Okay. But that's a dude whose life I saved. Okay. Just so you understand that. Okay. So when I'm talking about this, so with me, you are directing criminal violence, and the police have been, and allowing CIs and mafia directing criminal violence towards me because I exercised 271, 272, and 273. The reason why you motherfuckers didn't lock me up for it straight away is because you knew that when these assaults have happened against me and I've defended myself, or these assaults have happened against other people in public and I've had to fucking defend them, right? In public, that when I have defended myself every single time and when I've walked into the situation every single time, I go into the battlefield thinking like how fucking Scott Howison or the QPS or any of those dudes think. And you can ask the guys up in fucking Nambour who speak to me about how to write fucking charges up, dude, on the fly. We've spoken about writing charges up. They've spoken to me about charges and explained to me how we can't fucking go into somebody's room and do something because and evict them because of sections in these fucking acts. Okay? But because I was like, like fucking 5 years ago, right? I was 5 years ago, I was fucking mental, right? Because I had blood poisoning in my face and all of these people gaslighting me. I just got back from overseas and shit. And everyone's saying, you've been away for 15 years. You have to adjust to this culture right now. There's not going to be any culture shock. They use my culture shock, man. They use my culture shock as a 6-year reason to fucking fuck with me. 6 years. Right? Right. So Patrick Brian Gardner's been like smashing his fucking car up and shit, like police brutality. I'll show you police brutality. Cunt, fucking push car. And then I'm the one here writing type, boom, boom, send it off. Okay. So the real person the proper person that fucking trained me to be who I am now was Colonel Mitchell Friedman, who was involved in the investigation of Abu Ghraib and all that type of stuff. And he's a very serious figure, military police figure. Probably the most serious and the most senior US military policeman around today. One of, probably, but the fittest for his age and everything, considering he's a generation above me or something like that. Okay. He looks like he's younger than me. So me being lean like this and everything, that's not like, this isn't really a coincidence. It's kind of like what Mitch is, I think what the standard that Mitch taught me about being a military policeman is like kind of being about as lean and as strong as me. When you see how I use my battens and everything, when you see me using my battens, you're like, oh fuck, he's a professional gendarmerie. He's a professional fucking military policeman. Okay. So I don't have to pilfer anybody's copyright, but because I'm doing the military police type of work, I have to reference things. So, for example, I showed somebody this thing called the blacklist, right? I gave it to the Blackwater. Do you know Blackwater? Blackwater International, the guys that shot up the marketplace in Iraq, right? So they're the ones that the government are trying to help steal my copyright. So I gave them this document which had a list of every single MIA loss case that these fucks didn't have. And then all this suspicious shit happened anyway. But I'm just saying, okay, that's what happened with that shit. But me showing them how to generate an accurate list of all for the families of all the MIA POWs and stuff like that is one thing, but then them using it to secure US government contracts and trying to steal my life and trying to steal my legacy and fucking me over and starving me for a year and all this type of shit, right? And you have to remember too, another thing here is just so you know, this is why this is never going to end here in Australia, okay? Guys, this is why it can't end. This is why it can't end, okay? This is why it can't end, because I keep these on my blackboard here, guys. Do you understand? That's why it can't end. So what type of centralist government does Anthony Albanese have if he is engineering these Stalinist purges, it's Soviet Union level shit. What is going on in Australia now under Anthony Albanese? It is the Soviet Union. I was speaking to somebody that had come here from Czechoslovakia the other day, talking about how once you get out of a communist country, you realize how fucked up everything is and shit, right? When you're too close to it, you can't see how fucked up it is. But if you can get some objective fucking look at it instead of subjective, you can see the error. That's how I'm feeling about this fucking country. This is a communist fucking gulag. Communist fascist gulag. It's like when fucking Hitler and Stalin were still best buddies. That's what I've been dealing with in Queensland, my home state. This is David MacMillan. Good morning, Queensland. Let me see. I might just take a time out for a second and see how I feel. I might come back to you. Yeah, so it's 9/11 today, right, in Australia. And these fucking guys hit me with another one of these government appointment dates on a significant day. So the first day was the assassination of President Kennedy, and then there was January 6th, and then there was an assassination of RFK, and then then 4th of July, and now September 11. This is what the government in Queensland, this is the message that they're sending out there. And they're telling you that I'm the yo-yo because they keep on dropping these highly insulting dates because they know that it's going to make me upset. Okay. Anyway, so this is it, RFK, man. The RFK Jr., like these Democrats, man, they fucking lost. They just lost it. Like, there's a big gang mentality of people that are left over from politically from the last administration who have sway over the media that are putting out things that they know are not factually correct, or objectively correct, but from subjectively from their little group, of course, it's just their rap, the gossip, the chitter chatter that's out there, the chit chat. That's what it is, the chit chat, the gossip. Monkish chit chat too. That's what it is. It's a chit chat. So that's what, like, as I said, like TV and shit is, right? It's fucking chit chat. You're getting on there to be chit chatted by someone. You're getting on there to be bullshitted. Good afternoon. This is an advertorial. Hi, I'm Mike. Yeah, so, but it's like real fucked up because sometimes, like, these dudes, it's like the Truman Show thing, right? These dudes the whole time, right? They've been like looking at me, like they'll stare at me and they're like, the cops and stuff, they're like, he's so crazy. Like, he has no idea that we're looking at him or something like that. And I 100% know what's going on, but I don't have a camera to be like, I know exactly what the fuck's going on right now. This makes you look like a fucking wanker, man. Do you know how much of a dick banger you look like right now, Sunshine? You look like a fucking dickhead. So when they're sitting there like looking at me like I'm crazy, right? The cops are like sitting there like staring at me and shit, right? I'm just looking at them like, you think that I don't know that you think that you think that I don't know that you think that I'm crazy, mate? I know what's going on all the time, guys. Okay. Okay. Good morning, Queensland. Good morning. Let's see how fun today is going to be. We're going to have Mad Max 7. We don't need another hero. I better be careful. I might get sued by Mushroom or something like that. Okay. Speak to you later. I'll leave you with Upstrike.